Good afternoon and welcome to LUTV's coverage. There's no real rush at Thorp Arch as Leeds United under-21s take on Manchester United in a PL2 league game, which has been brought forward a couple of days. So the two teams are just going through their final preparations. They've made their way around from the dressing rooms. It is a game in which Leeds can try and close the gap on their visitors with a victory as they're trying to bounce back after a 3-0 defeat last time out. For Scott Gardner is Rory Mahady. It's then Douglas, Debayo, Trialist in defence. Monteiro and Ferguson should be a 3-4-2-1 with then McDonald, Cresswell, Chadwick and Chambers supporting Gray, and the bench for Scott Gardner is Grainger, Richards, Moore, Nfonkeu and Vincent. As for Manchester United, it's Byrne-Hughes, Ogunneye, Myles, Fredricson, who is the captain, who's just making his way for the coin toss, then Murray, Kone, Overy, Ibragimov, Musa, Moorhouse and Mather. And the bench for Travis Binion is Myles, Bailey, Ngwashi, Baumann and Rowe. So the two teams just going through their handshake. So we are slightly delayed here. Gives us a chance to speak to Ben Parker sat alongside me. It's a decent day for football, a little bit of a breeze in the air, but the Thorp Arch pitches, of course, will be immaculate. And it's an area where Leeds would like to try and prosper because, as I said, the game moved forward because there's a big game to come on Tuesday, which we'll delve into. There's no bigger game, though, than the one that's ahead of them. And, of course, with the team sheet opposite us, say Manchester United, there's always that added rivalry, Ben. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Tom. Good afternoon to everyone tuning into, which is the biggest game, especially in a Leeds shirt. You always look out for that fixture against Manchester United. It doesn't matter what age group it is. It could be under-10s, 21s, first team. It could be the girls' academy, girls' pathways, women's first team. It doesn't matter. You wear a Leeds shirt, you always look out for that Manchester United fixture. And it's been brought forward to, this kick-off time, which the players will have to adapt the schedule, building up towards this game. But apart from the last time out, we've been in good run of form. And we're looking to put that wrong right. That defeat against Sunderland, only blip in the last handful of matches for our young under-21s. But strong lineup, plenty of players looking to impress, and you always want to impress against that other team from over the Pennines. Yeah,
so Leeds coming into this, as I say, on the back of that defeat to Sunderland, it was perhaps a game where just the rigours of their last few weeks where they've been playing really well just caught up with them. 6 games unbeaten before that, in which they progressed to the National League Cup semi-finals. So, as we always say, defeats are part and parcel of this level of football. And you've just got to try and learn and regroup. And it's a strong team out there for Scott Gardner. So we can only hope that we'll get a competitive performance. We just had a windy day today. Shouldn't mean that conditions are too difficult for the players, but it may mean there's a switch in tactics for both managers as we finally get underway. It can often be the case with games at Thorp Arch. They come out nice and early. We have actually got away bang on kick-off time, so all things good. But there is that wind we were speaking about with the goal kick out from the back from Byrne-Hughes. So it's favouring Leeds in this first half. Let's see if they can do anything with that. As immediately Douglas is tasked with heading the ball away. As a defender, Ben, it's part and parcel, of course, of learning your trade where you've got to adjust to the conditions. So just seeing Douglas there sprinting backwards, having to then adjust the speed of his run to meet the flight of the ball. And it's it's the same for everybody out there. The wind will play its part.
No, it certainly will do, and almost seems to be in our favour. The start of this contest. So as a defender, you're right. Get your line. We always try and keep a high line, so any ball in behind probably get held up. So it's the second ball in midfield that'll be crucial, dominating that midfield battle.
Challenge goes in for Leeds, one that they've managed to win. A free kick given as Manchester United come forward. Advantage played by the referee. Ball just got caught a little bit on the surface there, and the ball played into the box from Overy. Was cleared away by Leeds. Chambers And McDonald leading the press. Naturally, McDonald is on the opposite flank to where we've seen him for most of his Leeds career, on the right-hand side of midfield. More of a left winger that's been cutting in off the flanks. Not to say that can't change, though. It does appear that both he and Chambers are like marauding 10s, where they're not staying put. Here is Gray. He ignores the run of Ferguson for now. Goes and picks out his left back, who in turn goes back into defence. Here's Monteiro. Debayo forced backwards by the pressure from Manchester United, who are now taking it up a little bit of a notch, and it's a poor ball played away, and Leeds will give possession away and out for a throw. Just noticing certain patches of the pitch, Ben, perhaps a bit more water than others. You can see the ball flowing, and then sometimes it sticks, so another thing that the players will have to adjust to.
No, we will do, and this is the opening for Manchester United down on the right-hand side. Not enough on the cross, good defended by Monteiro in the end, but as I was just saying at the start of the game, those long balls in behind is going to carry away for us in this first half, so more to feet, getting people on the half turn, playing in between the lines will be key to start this game.
Douglas with a throw, goes backwards to Debayo. His first touch made it a little bit awkward for himself, so much so that he gave the ball away. In fact, Leeds, there's a Leeds stopping there. The referee had to stop the game. Everyone in Leeds colours in proximity to the ball suggested the ball had gone out. Manchester United carried on, and the referee eventually brings it back, and we will restart again inside the first 4 minutes. Challenge from Monteiro. Referee seems to be letting things flow early doors. Douglas to Debayo. It's an area where the Leeds will probably try and speed things up a little bit at the throw. You can see the extra moisture on the floor where the pass just went from Debayo to Mahady. Chadwick goes to Ferguson. Back to Mahady again. So Manchester United sits in with a front three in defensive mode, forcing Leeds to go wide. It's the second time in succession they've gone wide right, and it hasn't come off. Manchester United into the game on the back of a 5-1 win against West Brom. Before that, though, they'd lost 3 in a row, and they have had 2 away games in a row without scoring. All very organised, Ben, so far, 5 minutes in. Very little given away in the game plans from each team.
Yeah, both teams just feeling each other out, getting used to the system's formations. As Leeds appealing for an offside, and it finally gets given. And that's the high line we were talking about, because Manchester United can go a bit longer with the wind holding the ball up. So yeah, it's important you get your distances, your communication correct. But yeah, the recent weeks, couple of months, we would say now, this formation that we've come to just give the ball away there. Yeah,
Monteiro runs into traffic now. Moorhouse has got an opportunity. Mahady denies him first time around. Will it be his job second? It won't. Ferguson for now. And again, the left back flies in, wins his team a throw-in. Really good covering defence. Lapsing concentration at the back. It was actually Cresswell, should I say, that had coughed up possession. Monteiro got the first touch, and then Ferguson bailed him out, so my apologies on the first mix-up. But more importantly for Leeds, Ben, they recovered quickly, but it is a warning sign, perhaps the first we've had in possession.
Yeah, it is, and I think last time out against Sunderland, costly mistakes proved the key in the end to his downfall. So just know you've got to be sharp, alert and bright, because Manchester United will be putting a press high up the pitch.
Cresswell tried to get goal side of his opposite number, failed to do so. It's back out to the left flank, and Mahady gets the ball in. Ferguson heads away. Cresswell scoops it clear. Better contact that time, giving Gray something to chase. Really strong challenge going in from McDonald. Put his body in the way there. Perhaps going to be winded for a split second as Red Devils work it wide. Over down the line to his fullback, Ogunneye. His intervention from Leeds concedes the set piece. McDonald, Chadwick have gone short just in case, but it's actually whipped in and just onto the frame of the goal. Second rebound, nothing Mahady could do. The flag, though, stops the scoreline changing in Manchester United's favour, and straight away Mahady is on the attack, trying to pick out Great. First header, just, I think he might have got a fingertip to it, Ben. Thankfully, the flag saved Leeds United, but again, just now, last couple of minutes, it is the visitors that are setting the tempo.
Yeah, on the first watch, it looked like the wind played a part again, holding the ball up, making it difficult for Mahady, and in the end, I think it was a good fingertip. Agreed, Tom. Just gets it a little touch onto the crossbar, but Manchester United have started the brighter of the two teams. They're just winning the little battles, winning the duels, playing high up the pitch. We're just getting stuck in these kind of areas.
Yeah, Debayo to Mahady. Patient from the Leeds goalkeeper. Debayo to Gray, lays it off. Bit unlucky with the spin of the ball. Douglas, regardless, gets it back. Gray set off nice and early. He might have had to set off last week to get to that ball. Douglas over hits it, but nice to see the connection trying to prosper for Leeds and get something going. Not the first time this year we've done a game from Thorp Arch where the wind was such a huge factor. Two totally different fixtures really in one game when you've got the wind against you and then for you. Keeper's taking a risk or two, try to get past Chambers. Just toying with him as he gets it across the pitch to Myles. Mahady was on the edge of his box, headed away. Ferguson has to be strong and is, and concedes the throw. He's guilty there of switching off at the throw-in. Chambers will then try and make amends, and it's a pretty strong challenge. You do feel if that is maybe later in proceedings, that could be a card. He hasn't missed, bringing down Ibragimov of Manchester United. I don't even think the most biased of Leeds fans could deny that's not a free kick.
We can make a cause, can make a plea just to suggest he was going for the ball, but that's probably about it. Just goes to show any lapses of concentration. Yeah, you get punished, you really do. We're seeing it time and time again at this level, especially in a fierce rivalry like this, where players heighten the performance, heighten the kind of decision making, trying to do things a lot quicker. So we've got to stay switched on. First and foremost, can we keep a high line on this? Can we stay strong, compact, clear the danger?
Over this, Sam Mather, also the number 5 of Sam Murray. Mahady comes for it, slight touch on the ball, extra one from Douglas, turns it away out for a throw-in. Chambers gets a slight touch to the ball, he's unlucky. Leeds get it back. Again, those 50-50s the referee has let flow pretty much. Cresswell keeps it safe and goes back to Debayo. In possession, Monteiro's, he does have the forward his back, so when they've got the ball, the middle centre-back is actually dropping into midfield, offering that angle for a pass like they've executed there. And it's something they've been familiar with, Ben. They've used it actually pretty effectively in the last 5 or 6 weeks when they've had to go to a back three. But 12 minutes in, there hasn't been too much success, just mainly playing out from the back in general.
Yeah, and obviously every team does their homework, so they'll know that situation. Well, Manchester United, that Monteiro likes to step into that position you just mentioned, so they're doing a full-on press, so it's important. You'd have to go through Monteiro. Can we utilise a movement like a Sam Chambers there rolling in off the line?
Monteiro looks wide to Chadwick. You can understand the idea, but again, with that wind, players are having to almost learn on the fly pretty much where the power needs to be applied in these positions, and that's, I think, 3 times in a row they've gone down the right flank and the ball has just taken a bounce and gone out of play. Awkward pass for the left back in Sam Murray to contend with. Wind picking up as Manchester United come forward with Fredricson, the captain. Gray trying to close off that avenue, but lots of space back there for Manchester United. Ferguson does very well, nips in, gets his man on the opposite flank. That has to be a card, and he's done well. Habib Ogunneye had to take one for the team once Ferguson had nipped in, but your analysis, ex-left back Ben Parker, on Conor Ferguson's work, because that was, it seemed to be timed to perfection.
Yeah, he's had a strong start to the game, as has Conor Ferguson. Defensively, he's found himself in 2-3 good positions, but he's been aggressive on his press as well. This time high up the pitch, first to the ball, wins a free kick. Excellent play.
Ball whipped in, cleared away at the first attempt. Chadwick's delivery a little off on that occasion. It will, though, fall back into the box for Gray. Got the strength to shield a couple of them away. Plays it back inside to Chadwick. Nice little layoff into Chambers. Just not enough wriggle room to then pull the trigger with his left foot. And now the visitors will break clear. Foot race between several players. The pass wide has helped Victor Musa having to go back for possession. Follows the pass, tries to get inside as Douglas doesn't keep it. It's in play and it's behind. But probably the first instance, Ben, where we've actually seen the game open up fully. Leeds just running out of space to shoot, and then within a couple of touches conceding a corner.
Yeah, we was unlucky not to get a shot away ourselves. Really tight and congested on the second phase from the corner. Harry Gray does really well just to keep the ball alive, and then Sam Chambers was trying to work that little bit of magic, half a yard, couldn't quite. Blink of an eye, it's a corner kick to Manchester United.
Monteiro gets his head to the ball. Chambers gets involved next, and it's a good cushioned header from the Leeds number 11. Ferguson's racing to get up in support. Cresswell just takes his eye off the ball. Monteiro steps up. Now the visitors have had a man advantage on both flanks, shooting space for 3 or 4 of them, but Debayo sticks out the leg. Tremendous defending. Just when Leeds look to be beaten and sitting ducks, the long limbs of James Debayo come to the rescue.
And that's all he could do, really. Just trying to show him one way. He was outnumbered. Sometimes as a defender you have to get a bit of lady luck on your side in terms of which way the pass is going to go. But if you're any aspiring defenders watching this, just look at James Debayo's body angle, because you think the counter-attack's going to be on for ourselves. We'll give the ball away cheaply in the middle of the park. Manchester United have the numbers, bypass the press there. The two players to the left, but look at Debayo's body angle. He's shaping, he wants the pass to go that way. He's in charge of the situation. Fantastic defending.
Yeah, very impressive. As Mahady gets caught in a bit of a tight squeeze, gives away possession. Debayo nips in, makes a challenge. Two good contributions now from the Leeds number 5. Ferguson appreciates the pass and apologises for the mistake. Douglas gets up in support. Gray's the only option he's got to pick out. He's not a million miles away from finding the Leeds number 9. And quick fire counter attack for Leeds nearly comes to something, but that's the advantage of having the wing backs. Conor Douglas, if he got to pick, would be playing wide or a number 10 in the number 2 jersey today. And there's that tremendous support play. Yeah,
you're 100% right, Tom, because they're the areas you want to be seeing Conor Douglas in, forward-thinking player, naturally by trade. So, yeah, it makes sense to get him involved as much as possible in an attacking sense, and didn't have much to pick out in the box, just Harry Gray on his own, but very nearly came up with a delightful cross, just too much on it in the end.
Monteiro going for interception, a powerful through ball, but overhit. Myles plays it short. Chambers trying to force a mistake. Goalkeeper coming on an angle as well, but it's a rush pass. Because of the wind, it hangs in the air, but held the visitors on that occasion. It just perfectly timed as Debayo clears. Could have gone either way, though. Yeah, the pass from the keeper blew back lovely in the wind for a half volley, Ben, but Leeds' attitude has to be keep that press up, because the next time something could go wrong.
Yeah, definitely, and naturally we are aggressive on his press, especially from a dead ball situation like a goal kick. But again, we'll keep saying about the wind, even more so starting positions a defender. Be ultra aggressive. Can you get up to that halfway line, stand your ground there, enables the players in front of you to start 5-10 yards further up the pitch. Who knows, just might force a mistake by that.
Douglas, his game plan is to get the ball out early from those throw-ins. Debayo again, tremendous challenge. McDonald towards Gray. Outnumbered, Harry Gray goes to ground, won't get a free kick for that. Ibragimov, further wide to Murray. Goalkeeper very calmly plays it up towards his strike partner, Musa. Byrne-Hughes, that left pass, left-footed pass into space. Here now is Ogunneye. Leeds retreating towards their own box. That's allowed Manchester United the space to bait this pass. Douglas comes across, nips in, well-timed challenge. Perhaps Leeds maybe a bit too passive there, Ben?
Yeah, they were. Almost ball watching to a certain extent. Not dropping off, not filling gaps, and at the same time not pressing the ball, but fantastic bit of defending by Conor Douglas, saying he's a forward player by trade, but superb on the cover he needed to be as well.
Second time in a row, Gray's gone for a amazing run of his own. Chadwick asking for a free kick, as is Gray, who is still down on the deck. Chadwick will be lucky here. It was right in front of the referee. Chadwick's just maybe allowed the last incident to get the better of him. He's pointing to the touchline to suggest that perhaps something should have been done earlier. I thought he'd left the leg in a little bit just to try and make sure the player, in case the ball was there. But of course the referee suggesting this was an arm across the face. Your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, it's hard to tell really. We're not that close to the action, are we, from here? But he was wound up, I think, by the non-free kick, not given against Harry Gray, and then a little bit of twisting and turning by the Manchester United midfielder. And as long as it's not too overboard, yeah, you don't mind leaving it on the player to a certain degree, but he's got to watch himself in that midfield battle now as Reece Chadwick.
Yeah, not the best preparation for the last 60, 70 minutes of the game. But a player that always wears his heart on his sleeve, the captain. Gray gets to within touching distance of the goalkeeper, but still can't wrestle possession away from him. Here's McDonald. Lays it off into Gray, just about reaches its target. Gray's got to try and rescue it back though. Will concede a corner kick, Manchester United, they thought, but then that last touch from McDonald is the one that pokes it behind for a goal kick. And even though Leeds conceded possession though, Ben, it's good to see the passion on show. It's sort of what's needed, I think, as you say. You've played in these games before. Even winning 50-50 battles and shoulder barges is required a mere metre away from a corner flag.
Yeah, whilst bit trim it comes on for Harry Gray, we're not quite sure what has happened there. Maybe something off the ball, just taking a little knock. Hopefully it'll be fine, but that's at any level, whether you're playing your arch rivals or any other game in a campaign, you have to earn the right to play, which you cast your mind back to the Aldershot performance and result in the quarter-final stage. We matched a team who were physically much stronger than us, but we didn't let that affect us one little bit. We got stuck into every single challenge and then enabled us quality to play on top of that. So it's no different today. Conditions will play a part. It was just a kick on back of the Achilles calf area for Harry Gray. I think that's what that replay was shown as there. So yeah, it's important you have that work rate, but then when you do get the ball, it's almost you've got to like stay cool, calm and collected in your mind, make the right decisions and add that little bit of quality.
Yeah, so quick break in play here for treatment to be allowed and the players to get some extra refreshments on board. And of course, as we always say at this level, the extra tactics, remind the players what's needed. And for some, I'm guessing, keep it up. Conor Ferguson, James Debayo. The last 3 involvements he's had have been 2 goal saving, 1 big interception when he stopped a chance. It's hasn't all been disappointment in every regard. Yes, the scoreline isn't positive, but these games should be cagey. It means so much to both sets of players. No real pressurising from Leeds, mainly I think because of Harry Gray being off the pitch. Teasing ball in from the right back Habib Ogunneye. Douglas again with another important contribution, this time defensively, and it is into the feet of Rory Mahady. Debayo pressurised, forced into a mistake. Free kick conceded by Chambers. Ibragimov Plays it into midfield, this time for Kone. Musa plays the pass wide. Leeds unable to dispossess him on the edge of the box. Thanks to somebody eventually got to Jack Moorhouse, and now Chambers is running free, which is exactly where Leeds want him, but he needs the shout that he's been pressurised. He gets it finally. Falls into McDonald, will inject a bit of pace now into the move, and now looks to slot in Gray. Just those last few passes. Again, with the wind behind, the extra slickness in that final third. Just a glimpse over hit so far, but good movement.
Yeah, first time in the game when we've been able to get Chambers and McDonald in a better pocket of space, driving at midfielders and defenders of Manchester United, and that's where the two players really want the ball in possession, pocket of spaces, because they're such strong runners with the ball, and we know they can create on the back of that.
Debayo to Douglas. Good first touch. Lays it inside to Cresswell, who's going to try and have a look towards goal. Hits the frame of it and in. What an effort from Alfie Cresswell, the skipper. On the edge of the box. Has a quick glance across, whether a shot or a cross, who cares? We know which one he'll claim. Pinpoint accuracy, frame of the goal helps Leeds. It's 1-0.
I know what he'll tell us as well, Tom. He'll say all day long he meant that. I'll tell you what, for a goal against Manchester United, bar post, bottom stanchion, rolls onto the other side of the netting. It's a picturesque goal, to say the least. And something out of nothing really was. But just utilise the conditions. I know we're having a little laugh and a joke. I think deep down in his heart he would say it was meant for a cross to Harry Gray, but just putting the ball into a dangerous area, you get the rewards, and you're a little bit sheepish in his celebration. I'd have run around a little bit more scoring a goal like that.
Yeah, it was a good moment for Leeds. Could maybe say as well it's a sign of the improvements they've made, just that extra bit of quality. They've now got defending to do, though. Double deflection helps Mahady. But yeah, it's not often you see a goal like that from Leeds. I don't mean from far out, but you know, a lot of it normally is well-worked, patient build-up play. That was relatively routine. Little simple pass inside, and all of a sudden it's in off the crossbar. But you take everything in this league at this level, especially in this game as well. Good work from Monteiro. Chadwick just backs off. One, I think, because he was overstretching, and that yellow card is against him. Visitors just keeping possession. It was Harry Gray leading the charge defensively. Chambers joins in. I've said right at the start, this game a chance for Leeds to get back to winning ways. They are 16th in the standings, but can move to within 4 of Manchester United in 7th. So bunched up finish. There isn't too long to go in the league either, because of the way the fixtures have panned out. It's not too long to the last game of the season. Mahady collects possession again. Visitors really try to, I guess, set the press. You can see where they want Leeds to go backwards with the ball. On that occasion, though, inch perfect passing. Wind again helps tease the ball up. Lovely for Chambers. Now Douglas. Plenty of space out wide. McDonald and Cresswell, the two inside him. Gray at the far post asking for it. There's even Chadwick coming in at the far stick. McDonald gets it, lays it to Gray. Yeah. It's a beautiful team goal for Leeds United. They check for offside. The coast is clear. It's 2-0. And Gray gets his latest for the season.
What a team goal that is. The quality of the play, the build-up, the patience. Gone from left side, 1-2 of Connor Ferguson to start it off, and then we've got the numbers out wide. Play it out there, an overlapping run as well down the side. Manchester United want the flag for offside, doesn't come. All good strikers getting inside that 6-yard box. Makes the finish look easy, does Harry Gray, but what a team goal.
Yeah, very impressive stuff from Leeds. And I think that might be Gray's last involvement. He does appear to be going off. I was about to ask you, just before that move, did you think Harry Gray was running with a slight knock? Of course he went down, but he didn't look, just when he did a bit of defending and pressurising a minute ago, that he was too happy. Then he scored and I thought, oh, he's fine. But now it would appear that Richards has gone on to right back, which I guess would mean Douglas goes up front as Mahady makes a simple save. I mean, as 30 minutes goes for a day at the office for a job, slightly injured, score a goal, go off, hope the team can hang on.
Yeah, just imagine what he can do when he hasn't got an injury. To score a goal like that when, you know, you're struggling, but just has that instinct, even a young player at his age, just knowing to just get in the right position. You know, if you're struggling, carrying a knock, just get in the 6-yard box, something might come across. Lo and behold, it happened. And to have that finish, even when you're feeling 100%, never mind when you're in a bit of pain, and more than that. So full credit to Harry Gray just to have that kind of know-how, that instinct to be in the right position. But full credit to the team as well, because that goal's a thing of beauty, something that as a coach you kind of not dream of, but you almost put plan of action into place in the training ground, work on little patterns and routines, and that comes off to a T.
So it would appear we've got a switch. So Richards has gone to right back as we expected. Chambers, I think, has moved more centrally. So Douglas has gone to one of the 10 positions, which like the floating 10. So just a slight tweak. For footballing purists, a number 2 playing in centre midfield as an attacker, it's not good. Here now, Richards on the attack. First touch is a positive one. Just about goes out of play. And it is a goal kick, but opportunity knocks for Joe Richards. We know what he's all about. You know, he's a wing back by trade, but he's played on the wing this season. Bundles of energy will complement this team well.
No, will do. And pressing high up the pitch here, and unlucky to give away a free kick. That's the first goal scorer, Alfie Cresswell, been so aggressive on the press, doing the right thing. But no, you're right, Joe Richards will slot straight into that wing back role quite at ease. But yeah, not too many times where you see a right back or a right wing back playing first half an hour of the game and then getting switched to a left wing position. Modern day football, Tom.
Yeah, life of the 21s, that's what we always try and call it. As Leeds win a free kick, McDonald draws the foul. Debayo squeezes it to McDonald. Richard pokes it down the line to Chambers, back towards McDonald, just not enough on it. Some nice little spells though from leading possession. Ben, we had that spell on the left when Ferguson and Chambers looked like they're about to be dispossessed, got away from trouble. I think fair to say that Leeds have grown into this game, and while the weather will be a factor in the second half and the next 10 minutes, there's a spring in the step of this Scott Gardner team. Cresswell out to Chambers. Strong run, wins it back, was about to overrun it. McDonald, twinkle toes, gets away from trouble, maybe space to shoot. In fact, he can lay it to the far post. It's just behind Ferguson. Back out for the left back, pings it early, but it is cleared away. And Manchester United can try and bring it clear. There's a player down for the visitors in back play. They will ignore that and go ahead. Leeds do have numbers back though, so we'll feel confident of handling this. Everyone back in shape and visitors forced to go backwards, but another nearly moment. If you get Sam Chambers, Josh McDonald in free space, it's a joy to watch, to be honest.
Well, it's a joy to watch, and the opposition are banging trouble. Believe me, and it's an important period of the game, less than 10 minutes to the half-time break, and this game really is there for the taking. 2-goal cushion is great. For push to get a third, wow, what an advantage that would be.
McDonald just runs it away from trouble just to give everyone a breather. Would like to win a throw-in, does. Very mature play from a young man. Chambers' flick on was to nobody else in a white shirt. Just got a little bit squeezed there, Leeds, and gave the ball away, but not too much damage done. Unless they can allow Manchester United to come forward. Douglas will claim that's a shoulder to shoulder. Work from Leeds' midfield, just squeezing together, stopping any through pass, any through ball, should I say, and back to Mahady. It's very early days, Ben, still, and we never like to jinx things because I'll get the blame. But would you say there's the element you've noticed, maybe a bit more control on proceedings?
I think in terms of the way we're just getting on the ball further up the pitch. Early part of the game was Manchester United trying to press, especially playing out from the back, and was playing into a little bit of a trap the opposition were setting. And I just think we've just been able to initially build upon our recovery runs, a second phase defending, in particular Ferguson and Debayo set the tempo with that, winning the ball back, and then just being able to get a few passes high up the pitch and being able to press ourselves in these parts of the game.
Monteiro brings it under control, goes to Debayo. Nice and patient this from Leeds. Cresswell even wants it back, despite having 3 Manchester United players surrounding him. Debayo was looking for Monteiro, we believe. Chambers out to Douglas. Might have a sight to goal here. Douglas, he will. Just kicks it against his side foot. It's unfortunate. He will stay in play though for Leeds. Richards trying to keep it alive, and it is out for a throw. It was a half an opportunity for Leeds to get a sight of goal. I haven't seen a player miss kick it against his own foot since a former left back was running down the flanks many years ago. How tough is it, Ben, for a player to respond from those sort of mistakes? Can you just get it out of your head really quickly?
To be fair, I thought Ian Hard did very well at left back. Honestly, I thought he was a fantastic full back. The disguise on the pass there from Kone Douglas, it fooled everybody, really did.
Here is our current left back, Ferguson, bursting forward, trying to cut it back to Chadwick. Appeals go Leeds his way. It's an avenue as well when we go back to Douglas. You know, you've had we mentioned it, he's playing right wing back, then he comes inside. Manchester United will know all about his strengths, but just a slightly different sort of mindset. Perhaps he might go for goal from further out than other players would. I think they got a bit fortunate, really, that the shot went astray. So Chadwick to take the corner. McDonald standing on the toes of keeper Byrne-Hughes. Floater to Debayo. Wind will assist to go straight in. Referee, though, spots something on its way. Huge appeals from Leeds. And that would have been the ultimate goal in the weather. I think if you're a player in these conditions, Ben, and you're a corner kick taker, you've got to have a go at least once, haven't you?
Especially, yeah, I was thinking in my mind, why not have a go, try and actually score, whether it comes off or not, but put into that area and everyone just bombard the goalkeeper.
Yeah, opportunity for Chadwick to go wide. Leeds running through on the attack. It's out to Cresswell. Challenge left in, but Cresswell rides the wave of the rebound, but eventually he's dispossessed and the space closed up on him. James Overy in possession. Goes back, and visitors resorted to having to go sideways quite a lot since the 20th minute mark or so, where beforehand they were getting a bit more space on the edge of Leeds' box. So testament to the players and Scott Gardner's tactics so far. Kone into Victor Musa. Miss-hit pass, gets a bit fortunate for Manchester United. Now Richards is covering, goes to ground due to the shoulder barge. He's come off second best. We hope it's just an impact problem there, because landed awkwardly. Run from Sam Murray was wholehearted. And our thoughts go to Richards, who will hopefully be up on his feet shortly.
Yeah, his recovery run. Again, another good example of where you think better space for Manchester United out wide. Great turn of pace by Richards. Thankfully, he's back onto his feet, and yeah, well, the scoreline looks good in our favour, and rightly so. There's still that element of danger where Manchester United have the quality in the final third to exploit any lapse of concentration.
Wide for Ferguson. Slightly awkward bounce, but he still has it. Just runs out of wriggle room on the touchline, and the opportunity goes amiss. Nearly gets there, does Douglas. The press almost working for Leeds, as Monteiro having to drive back. Leeds under pressure for the first time in a while. Monteiro has to keep driving back towards the touchline. Stops the oncoming cross, but for how long? Visitors looking for a way through. Again, they're forced backwards. Myles having a look across the back four, deciding which way to go. Chadwick and Douglas. Ferguson just won't get there. Inch away from getting possession. Advantage players to try to take his man out, Ferguson. Visitors going from right to left to the far touchline for Sam Mather. Cut coming in from Murray. Cut back is Debayo's to handle. Chambers runs into a couple of defenders to slow them down. Important for Leeds to keep them out here. End this first half on a high. Monteiro and Cresswell getting back into the 6-yard box to help that cause, and it is out of play for a throw. And I think the referee wants a word with Conor Ferguson for the attempted trips. That will be his last warning. Douglas gets back to help Ferguson out. Clearance downfield is a good one as well. Again, sense of control here for Leeds. Don't have possession, but believe in their shape and their system. If we had to be pedantic, there is 2 balls on the pitch. Ferguson racing back to cover what is a incoming cross. Richards mistimes the jump. It was the ball in from James Overy from right midfield. Murray's now received possession. Deflected cross goes behind for another corner, which is Manchester United's best player in the game for a while. Referee now asking for that ball to be replaced and taken off the pitch. So Chadwick and McDonald covering what could be a near post short corner. There's Overy at the far post. Leeds have got everybody congregated around the penalty spot. Monteiro stoops low to head away. It's now McDonald having his ankles snapped away at, runs into traffic. 2 Manchester United players end on the floor, but that is the end of what is a competitive first half. Leeds had to really dig in for 20 minutes in what was a bit of a 50-50 start, but the quality came after 29 minutes with Cresswell, a curling effort from him off the crossbar and into the back of the net. 3 minutes later, team goal, one of the contenders for the goal of the season for the under-21s, with how they carved their way from left to right for Harry Gray to score, and it has been overall a very successful first 45 minutes, Ben.
No, it has. We've had to withstand a bit of pressure to start the game, but grew into the half as it went on, and then, yeah, 2 great goals. Scoreline suggests we're heavily on top. Still work to be done in the second half.
Yeah, fingers crossed this remains the same at half-time at Thorp Arch. It is Leeds United 2, Manchester United 0. It was a strong showing from Leeds United's under-21s, who were just finding their rhythm in the early stages, just going through the motions. A little bit of defensive pressure to handle, but nothing too strenuous before a 29th minute opener, 32nd minute second goal. Those efforts from Cresswell and Gray. Sadly, Harry Gray had to go off straight after that strike, replaced by Joe Richards, who's just contributed here with a header. And Leeds are on the attack again through Chambers, who just runs into traffic. Double clearance via a deflection helps Leeds win a throw. So Mahady, Douglas, Ferguson, Monteiro, Debayo. A trialist this afternoon. McDonald, Cresswell, Richards, Chadwick and Chambers is the team for Leeds. And Manchester United go with Byrne-Hughes, Ogunneye, Myles, Fredricson, Murray, Kone, Overy, Ibragimov, Musa, Moorhouse and Mahady. We've been speaking pretty often about the conditions. Strong wind in play in the first half. Don't expect it to change in the second, but it is now going to be in Leeds' face. Most important thing, I feel like you're going back to the Sunday League days, Ben, is you've got your 2-goal cushion before you face the wind. Now can you handle the conditions and get the job done? Yeah,
we've got to try and expect a reaction from Manchester United as well, on top of all those elements you've just mentioned, Tom, as well. So that's important we do start well. And it's the same kind of messages that you'll see with a 2-0 scoreline at half-time, pretend it's 0-0, give it all those cliches. But it's important we move the ball quick. We can go a little bit longer this half because we know the ball's not going to run out of play, where we saw those long passes, the first 3 or 4 anyway, going long and just running out of play. It won't do that as much. So as long as we've got the willing runners, which we will in terms of Chambers, Douglas to his left, McDonald to his right, that could bring a bit of joy.
Yeah, see if that's an avenue that Leeds try to exploit. Douglas racing back. Throwing goes Manchester United's way. I'm pretty confident if Conor Ferguson was expecting that, he'd have changed his mind. He was very confident that was the last touch off a Manchester United player. That's why he lets it roll past his foot. Normally body language tells you all you need to know in this game. As Musa wriggles free. McDonald with the toe poke gets a slight touch on the ball to slow the visitors down. Well managed by Leeds. Little glare from Ferguson to tell his keeper to come and get it. And again, it's just managing the situations and try to get the tempo set. Ferguson to Douglas. Debayo to Richards. Rolls it under the studs. Back to McDonald. Leeds get the throw. Debayo runs into traffic. Wins it back immediately. McDonald just pokes it down the line to Chambers, who I think had the right idea. Goes early. He knew the pressure was coming from Myles. Was looking for Cresswell. So easy to forget as well, Ben, you know, how a 2-goal cushion at any level, they say, is the dreaded scoreline due to the comebacks. But development football in particular, we've seen it firsthand with Leeds being in front and behind, and they still managed to roll the reverse the roles. That little incident with Debayo, yes, he made amends, but getting caught in pressure just tells you this is going to be a fight to the very end. No,
it will be, and we don't expect any different this fixture. Never sees so major, does it? So, yeah, mentally, that's the key. And on the point of, yeah, the 2-0 scoreline being a dangerous one, all makes me laugh that, because I'd rather be 2-0 up than 2-0 down all day long. But it's how you approach, especially the second half. You've got to start on the front foot. You've almost got to have it in your mind thinking, we need a third, go and get the third.
Myles plays it wide to Ogunneye. Into midfield now. Fredricson puts a bit of zest behind that pass, nearly falling over the possession there with his teammate Sam Mather. Big space exploited. Shut down though by Monteiro and Chadwick, only for a split second though. Too much space perhaps for a shot. Manchester United don't punish Leeds. Mahady thankfully able to watch it fly past his far post. But yet again, another warning sign. Free space on the edge of the box. It's an area where Alfie Cresswell scored in the 29th minute, that, Ben?
Yeah, and we're getting reports from Thorp that, yeah, he meant the strike. He's been telling everyone at half-time that's what he's been saying. But you know, it's these moments here where, yeah, we're going to try and play out from the back. We're going to try and utilise our way of playing, but it's almost got to put a little bit extra on the pass just to counteract the wind.
It's a great ball out from Mahady, by the way, originally. Tried to play it to Richards, got caught. Now Mather running through on goal, trying to pick his spot. Mahady covering all the time. Still, though, opportunity on the penalty spot pretty much as a couple of bodies flying in. It'll now fall out towards Murray. McDonald gets back. Richards, all hands on deck for Leeds United. It works perfectly. They get it clear. That's several occasions now that they've tried to play it out pretty relaxed. Cresswell goes to ground. And Mahady gets a good hand on the ball just to get some extra practice in. It's still 2-0, but tactically, a bit nervous out of the second half, I feel.
Yeah, mentally, it's a different game compared to the first half when it's okay playing around the back. The wind's behind us, so it's going to help us pass. You don't have to put that little bit more on you, pass to your teammate, where this half, completely different game. And we mentioned about going long with the ball, holding up. We've not utilised that tactic just yet. We're still trying to play around the back. but for the first 7 or 8 minutes of the second half, it's playing into Manchester United's hands.
Chadwick try to squeeze it to Ferguson. He will get there eventually. There's a free kick appeal from the Leeds left back. Short-lived though. Very passionate screams from the Leeds players close by, but more hopeful than anything else. Chambers' work applauded by Scott Gardner, who's just trying to keep his players energised, can't afford to switch off in those areas. Leeds, of course, got plenty of joy. Manchester United players claiming he was caught by Chadwick there. It's one of those areas you've got to be worried. I'm not, I don't know if you intentionally tripped him up. You never want to suggest that for either team. But because he's on a card and because he knew he got the elbow across the face earlier, or the arm, the forearm, players may even try and bait him in or feign injuries. Not sure what exactly happened between those two. Chadwick was very much confused. Referee was just as nonplussed as well. Here is Chambers to Richards. Waits for the run of Chambers to cut back inside. Monteiro had Ferguson, Cresswell, McDonald in decent positions. Couldn't pick any pass. Keeps it. And it goes back to Cresswell again. McDonald again just showing that ability that just by moving his upper body he gets space. Richards down the line to Cresswell, gets a little nudge in his back, rides that challenge though, looks back for Richards, who just can't ride that second collision. It'll fall into the box though for McDonald. He takes his shot. Chambers will do likewise. Nearly deflects across the goal. Good save from Cameron Byrne-Hughes with his fingertips. All got very scrappy, all in Leeds United's favour. It remains 2-0.
Yeah, it's taken 10 minutes of the second half for us to show us first threat in the second 45. Just the amount of bodies we have got in the penalty area, and a little bit of fortune in terms of how it breaks to Chambers in the end, and for a split second you're thinking it's just going to curl past the goalkeeper's right hand side.
Lucky there, Monteiro steps in early, wins it back. Now it's fallen for Manchester United to run one-on-one with Mahady, who tries to stay big. Frame of the goal keeps Leeds in front. Big moment in this match, goal kick given. And Sam Mather has just maybe hurt himself while trying to score and avoid the Leeds players. And it's come from nothing. I mean, the deflection is huge. Myles kicks it. It's a freak sort of pass. It worked out to be perfect for them. But that's why Richards is out of position, because, I mean, how many times a season is that going to happen? Yeah,
it's sometimes on a pitch, especially as a defender, you just can't do anything about certain situations. And that was one of them. Mentioning a bit of luck in terms of the way the ball fallen to us inside the penalty area, but even more fortunate for Manchester United how that broke out, and thankfully width of the post goes our way.
Chadwick, good powerful run, gets it to Douglas. Well, the momentum behind the move was stalled for a split second. Monteiro again given the instructions by Debayo and Mahady to go back for safety. Good work from Chambers. Touch just took him a little bit too close to Manchester United, but his first touch was nice and calm. Good composed play by Richards. Again, you can see the influence of the wind and the spin it has on the ball. Puts all the way back to the goal line. Again, Leeds forced into a mistake. Mahady comes across. The tap-in was the option. Cleared away by Monteiro. And again, the wind just hanging the ball up on the edge of Leeds' box. So far, so good on the defensive front to keep them away from trouble. Let's hope it's not a matter of time, though, as Leeds now have to go wide with Ferguson and Douglas to stop the onrushing Manchester United attack. Good work again from Douglas, who's had to work so hard defensively today. Early ball in, Monteiro, just any touch will do. Almost dipped his hands in the way as well. Looked for a moment, it could have been a scary moment for Leeds, but sorry, Benny, you can see the wind, you can hear the wind. And, you know, 15 minutes in, regardless of how you think you're handling it, it is always going to be an issue in this second half for Leeds. We'll get your thoughts in a second how they handled that situation, because there's still a corner to defend. Powerful ball in. I think it's Debayo that got the last touch. Another set piece to come. So Debayo is the one that's been given the applause for his work. McDonald and Chadwick yet again covering for any short corner, which is not to be expected as the header goes over the top from Victor Musa. Again, any direct corner you'd feel in this wind you'd take. Referee looks across for the touchline for a sub. Gives us a chance to take a respite, Ben, and get your thoughts on what has been a rather heart-in-mouth minute or two there with Leeds defending, but they got the job done as James Overy is going to be replaced by Zach Baumann.
Yeah, and we're just living very dangerously at the moment, almost playing into Manchester United's hands. And yeah, I'm all for having a philosophy, a way of playing, especially in these situations. But if a pattern of play is not working and it's enabling the opposition to get more than a foothold in the game, which they are at the moment, they're dominating the game at Manchester United, it's only a matter of time before playing out from the back, especially around our own 18-yard line, is going to give Manchester United a goal. I just think go away from that idea. There's nothing wrong by doing that.
Into the side netting for the Devils, who appealed for a corner kick. Such as the wind, that linesman giving the goal kick, you can't even tell which way the flag is blowing. Chadwick, risky pass back to Debayo. Was played into trouble, couldn't get away. Here is Baumann. Douglas gets back, only to concede a free kick. There's been a couple of those 50-50s, and there is that passion on show with the two groups of players wanting the ball. Close one, Ben. Do you maybe feel just because he was slightly behind the player, or are you in the camp of that should be play on?
Nah, it's one of those. I reckon probably 10 years ago you get the play on shout, but yeah, I think the advantage is always with the attacker this day and age, but just these situations are just so hard to defend against, and we've been doing a lot of defending the first 16, 17 minutes of this second half, and you just need a breather sometimes, more mental than anything, just to clear your mind, get pushed up the pitch, play around the halfway line into Manchester United's defensive third if we can, but these are big moments.
Wasteful free kick, just what you wanted for Leeds' perspective. Conor Douglas will feel that justice is served. Chadwick keeps it alive. McDonald's touch towards him. Retreats back to the Leeds number 7. There isn't that many options for Leeds on the front foot there, so it's a case of managing possession and issue that I think maybe, like Leeds did to Manchester United in the first half, a lot of play when Leeds get to halfway is then going back towards their own goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's having the bravery in possession and trusting your ability. Yeah, you need the runners, options off the ball, of course you do, but this is what Manchester United want. We build to get to the halfway line and nearly give the mistake away yet again, and honestly, it's just a matter of time before Manchester United capitalise on one of those mistakes.
Yeah, playing with fire back there, Leeds. Chambers tries to shield possession away. Touch just goes past Cresswell. It's an awkward bobble out to Baumann. Big call here from the linesman, who I often feel when there's a delay, it's the race around the brain to decide which way to give it. Ip dip do is generally the way to form that. If he knew which way it was, he'd have given it earlier. As per every set piece so far, Manchester United have a crowd of bodies within touching distance of the penalty spot. They've gone that way again. Deflection on its way through to goal, so Leeds stand firm once more. Good shape from McDonald, forcing them back. Touch though, and a slip from the edge of midfield, and that was coming in from Jack Moorhouse. May settle nicely for Kone. He tries to squeeze it through a tight space. Monteiro with the theatrical clearance, but again, Leeds just fighting against the conditions. Ferguson's gone down here. Referee will say yet another corner because of the two players coming together. And it's awkward, just never really settled, and then Ferguson rather awkwardly gets caught, but he's back on his feet. So Sam Mather to take the set piece again. Mahady has Amir Ibragimov on his toes. Looking for Myles, nearly fell out towards Kone. He will go for it. There is the goal. Sat up beautifully for him. And Kone scores, 67 minutes, free effort. And Leeds' goal was living a charmed life for a very long time. 2-1.
Yeah, it's been coming, really has. Probably didn't expect it to come in this manner. Can't get any distance on the headed clearance, and it's a great strike. Just to get over top of the ball, keep it down, game on.
Yeah, big 25 minutes for Leeds here. Because as you say, it's been backs against the wall. Not every second, but certainly, I think you said earlier as well, we try to highlight it. It's not as if it's been every second has been under pressure. It's when they've got the ball, there is no respite.
No, and they're again at Manchester United.
Moorhouse gets away, just bobbles Mahady. Now there could be offside, he goes for it, deflection wide. Keeper doesn't get the hand to it. It is fired straight into the side netting, and there was no offside. So it nearly could have been 2 goals in a minute for Manchester United. Other options off the bench for Leeds would be Moore, Nfonkeu and Vincent. So you've got 2 wingers and a defender. Big slice behind the kick from Mahady, giving Richards no chance. Richards still down. Debayo's flick only into a 50-50 zone, which Manchester United win with Kone. He goes to ground. Referee is going to point to the spot, is he? He hasn't actually signalled which way, but there is the card for Monteiro, who just felt he had no other option. He was about to pull the trigger on the 6-yard box. It is a penalty at 2-1.
But we've been saying time and time again, in the second half, the only option is going to be inevitable that going to give Manchester United opportunities. Lo and behold, we've got a penalty kick to get back on level terms, and we've just not adapted at all to these conditions in the second half.
So Sam Mather, who's taken most set pieces, corners, free kicks, prepares his run up. Rowe Mahady told to wait on his line, so right-footed player with a central run up. Long check from the officials. There's no player encroaching the space. So it will be Mather to try and get past Mahady, which he does. Sends it the wrong way. It is 2 apiece, and they get their goals in succession, 2 in 3 minutes, just like Leeds United in the first half. And this is an arm wrestle now for the rest of the game. And as you said, Ben, conditions-wise, never adapted. Lo and behold, it's 2-2.
But you look at the clock, there's 20 plus minutes remaining in this match, and if we can adapt, just tactically change things up, and it's a mindset for the players, be positive, look forward, don't keep playing it back to your goalkeeper, because one, that's what Manchester United want. 2, what's Mahady going to do with it when he gets it even further back? So these situations, yeah, the easy pass is to Mahady. I just think if there's nothing on going forward, go a bit longer, clip it into a channel, turn the defenders around.
This could be an area to do it here. Chambers in behind, heavy touch from Douglas. Needs to be so crisp up there when you've barely had a chance, but great running from the Leeds number 2. Got into a good area, he'll be frustrated, but it's a response, and that's what the positive has to be. Corner to come.
Yeah, and guess what? We're not reinventing the wheel here, but a ball down into the channel. First time we've done it all second half, puts Manchester United on the back foot.
Yeah, you did ask for it at half-time as we came back for the second half. That was your main tactic you picked out. Got to go down the channels, the wind will help you. And it's taken them a good while to find the space to do so. So corner to come. Wind again keeps it in play. Cresswell jumps up for it. Debayo tries to control it, does, but only backwards to a Manchester United shirt, and it should be a Leeds throw. Another sub coming for today's visitors. Which they will look to make after the next throw-in. Fourth official not ready just yet. And now they will say that the sub can be made. And goal scorer Mahady is going to come off for Jaden Ngwashi. Monteiro back to Mahady. To Debayo again. Manchester United really want to pen Leeds in here. It's because they can force mistakes, which they have. Moorhouse running free. Into Mahady. Leeds get away with it. Free kick one in midfield. Yellow card will be dished out as well, and that is for Jack Moorhouse. As an avid watcher of the squad, Ben, is there a sub you think that could change things, or is it purely the decision making on the pitch that would have to decide that? It doesn't matter who's on the wing. If they're not getting it down the touchline, it's pretty irrelevant.
Yeah, I really do think it's just the personnel out on the pitch, because I don't think system formation's got anything to do with it right now. It's getting to these areas that'll be the key.
McDonald keeps the ball on a string there as he gets it away. Deflection nearly fell to Richards, who will give the free kick. Richards did have a left hand on one of the Manchester United players' shirts or shorts, and it was the referee's side, so very easy call to make, whether you believe there was enough contact or not. Douglas, great pressurising. Every single inch of grass was covered, with the screams and shouts of his coach, Scott Gardner, who again is trying to emphasise how much he wants that press. I mean, Leeds have not even had the chance to press, in a nutshell. That is the second half.
No, they haven't. No, you're right, and something like that can just be the catalyst. Just a mindset shift, a change. Just something just to try and get a foothold in this game.
Richards gets the arm across the face. Ibragimov, the guilty party. McDonald this time, the one that's leading the charge. Keeper sends in the wrong way. Moorhouse. Debayo, wrong side of Kone, who's through on goal, goes for an effort. Just drags it wide. It was Debayo's pressure at the very last second. Just did enough to knock him off balance without conceding a penalty. As Douglas turns, that'll be, and should be, another yellow card, and it will be. And that was for the sub, Ngwashi. Just a little bit, Ben, more open. Not by a lot, but small margins and whatnot.
No, and since we conceded the equaliser, that's probably been our best spell. The reactions have been good. We've not let his heads drop. We're going to need more of the same, though. It's going to be a real battle between now and the end of the game. And I said at the start of the match, those are the battles you've got to go out every single game, every single minute, like you do play, and battle away, win your own individual battles. Hopefully as a collective of the team, you win more than the opposition. That enables you to have that foothold within a contest, especially when the conditions like they are, and you're just hoping for a little bit of quality.
Cresswell gets his head to the ball. McDonald was just trying to get them on his way early. Miscued it. Cresswell nips in to beat Baumann to the ball. McDonald runs into traffic, will at least win it back. Pretty hectic 15 seconds for the Leeds number 7. We had to get rid of the ball again. And now we'll concede a free kick. I mean, in a 25-second window, I don't know how many 50-50s you can have.
Well, I've heard of a goal bonus, a clean sheet bonus, and I think McDonald must be on a tackle bonus, because gets the ball, gives it away, tackles, wins it back, gives it away for another tackle, and yeah, it must be in a good payday at the end of this game if he's on a tackle bonus in that clip alone.
Yeah, let's hope there's no foul bonus, because that took out some of it. Set Leeds just switch off in centre midfield, allows the pass into the centre circle. Now with Chambers, who has barely had a sniff in the second half. He's naturally quite a strong player. could see that there, evident as he just holds up play. You can see the tactic there. When Manchester United saw Debayo look to go sideways, the player on the far side was desperate to push up, and he is doing so now. Is Ogunneye. Douglas turns his man, only for Chadwick to get it. Wants to go wide, gets it wide. Here's Ferguson. Wants the run from Douglas, plays the run. Douglas has the pace to get past Myles. Can he return the favour? He can. He slips. Ferguson gets there. Now where's the cutback? Blocked for a corner. I don't think it's a stretch. That's the best move of the second half for Leeds.
Just everything about it, the tempo, the tenacity of the play. But we just went a bit longer into the middle of the park. Held the ball up well. Got the seconds in Chadwick. And then the space was out wide on the left-hand side. And very nearly gets a cross into the box where 4 white shirts were waiting. But we'll take the second prize of the corner kick.
Chadwick to take. Chambers, Douglas on the edge. Near post, Monteiro goes to flick the ball on. Appealing for a corner. Very half-hearted appeals. Chambers pounces on what was a really poor pass out the back from Myles. Doesn't get much support though. And now Manchester United have found themselves in a great space. It is with Ibragimov. Attack needs to be sorted, and it is by Monteiro. But after one-way traffic for large parts of this second half, we are now getting a bit more of an ebb and flow to this game. McDonald gives the ball away. Here's Moorhouse. Finds the space, too easy for Leeds' perspective. Baumann goes to ground, the two 15s colliding. Kone, who's got the first goal for Manchester United in the second half comeback, has seen plenty of space and time in possession on the edge of the area. Again, another area where Manchester United wanted to exploit it. Mahady just looked skywards in frustration. It's almost like the visitors are saying, get it back to the keeper and then let's just make him pass it wide.
Yeah, but even the defenders in front of Mahady as well, we're trying to be too precise with the passing, and we've said throughout this second half, it's not a game of it. It's two completely different games from the first half conditions to the second. Play into space.
Chambers has done just that to find Chadwick, who's got to turn it to McDonald. He goes to ground, he's caught late. In serious pain, Chadwick, as McDonald still goes. Richards queuing up at the far post was Douglas, but couldn't get it to him. The referee's gesture that advantage was played. Did Leeds rather have a free kick? They've got a set piece. Would you rather have a set piece there, Ben, or would you rather play carry on?
Well, luckily, I've got hindsight in my favour, and yeah, I'd rather go back to the free kick now, but I can see why the referee gave the advantage. We're in the ascendancy. Just didn't quite have enough bodies in the box for that Richards pull back.
Corner to come for Leeds. Another high hanging ball to the far post for Douglas. Just something a bit different, actually puts it back in the area. Keeper comes flying off his line. Offside flag is the only thing that spares them. So there was no free kick there. Keeper's blushes are spared. Again, Chambers just been given that instruction. The press can never stop once this free kick is taken, unless Manchester United, of course, go long. Another change will be made, and it will see Moorhouse replaced by James Bailey. Of course, big appeals in that Chadwick incident, I know we can go back to it now that the set piece has gone, was the player in question already carded. That's what Chadwick's issue is, I think. And that's why he has yet to calm down, and why captain Cresswell. I mean, Chadwick's captained his team plenty of times. Cresswell, as the official captain today, has to come across. And that is why I think he is so irate at the incident as the game gets back underway. Too much space here for Ibragimov. Debayo goes to stop him. Dangerous for Mahady. Good hands though, could have gone anywhere. Saw it with Cresswell with the first. Cresswell back to Monteiro, and for the first time today the sun just dipping behind the clouds. Big 5.5, 6, 7 minutes you think the stoppage time, Ben. You still get the feeling that, in fairness to Leeds, since the second goal in the equaliser, Leeds have actually improved. So this last few minutes is anyone's to take. We'll get your thoughts here, because Douglas and Kone on the attack into the box. Appeals go against Leeds, and it is out of play for a throw. But yeah, it's not as if it's Leeds hanging on for 5 minutes. There is a chance here.
No, and you have to give the home team credit for that. As you mentioned, since the equaliser, arguably we have been the better side, showing plenty of that character we've seen in recent weeks and months, but still we just need to find a way in the remaining minutes plus stoppage, just create an opening, and at the same time not allow opportunities for Manchester United to go and hurt us.
Kone gets away from trouble. Now plays it over the top for the long legs of Victor Musa, who's got to that ball pretty quickly. Chadwick gets to Murray's cross. McDonald was wanting to get a free kick and gets one. Again, just seeing an example of it there, what you said right at the start, Ben. That Douglas ball is just into space, but he knows it can't go out of play. It's hung up in the air, they win a throw-in. It's scrappy, it isn't the way Leeds play, but it isn't backwards.
No, and it's finding a way, and if you want to be a professional and have a long career in the game, you've got to adapt to conditions, and yeah, that's not being negative at all from going away from your game plan and the way you want to play and how you're going to set out, but sometimes conditions dictate how you have to play, and it's taken for us to concede the equaliser before realising that on the next occasion, like see a little bit beforehand, but we're still showing that character and belief.
Yeah, it's shown here by Douglas's strong run, runs into a traffic jam in the end. Richards is a touch unlucky, he's done so well there. He had a standing start, had to give the advantage away. He's been outnumbered here, though, as Murray comes forward. Debayo's trying to back up. He's got to watch the run of Bailey. Cresswell comes across. Chadwick, if Cresswell doesn't give the free kick away, he's probably been sent off for knocking the ball across Weatherby. And it is a free kick in a dangerous position. And, of course, with wind behind, it makes life even harder for Rory Mahady.
Yeah, and for a goalkeeper, it's your starting position, because majority of the time we expect maybe the ball to go into the box for a free kick, for someone to go head it in, but as you mentioned, with the wind, they've got the shooting option as well, so it's got to stay alert and alive in the goal as Mahady here.
So to take it is Ibragimov. The three-man wall is from left to right, McDonald, Debayo and Ferguson. Sam Murray, he stood in the way of those three. Debayo just trying to tighten that wall. Of course, Murray is going to move out of the way at the last second. You've also got Baumann stood near the penalty spot trying to stop the view of Mahady. And a poor effort to say you had so much time and space, thankfully for us. Ibragimov is now limping because the free kick was so poor, of course. As a wasteful pass backwards give Manchester United a free corner. Just a lapse in concentration there. Three minutes of stoppage time to come at Thorp Arch. Floating ball. Cresswell's header away. It'll fall out to Bailey. Ibragimov, Debayo's trying to push out. Teasing ball in, was begging for a touch. You can hear the gasp alongside me. That isn't the wind, it's Ben Parker panicking as it nearly went in. I mean, that would have been a sucker blow. Inches away from conceding a third. Yeah,
conceding the third, which surely would be the winner as we enter stoppage time, and it's a wicked delivery. One of those you think it's going to go in, or definitely a touch with the two players coming in at the back post. Thankfully, it evades all scenarios and breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, massive moment in proceedings. Murray to drive forward, McDonald tracks his run. He wanted a corner. Richards had the option of clearing long, tried to keep it alive. Giving away a free kick, and Leeds are just really playing with danger here. Kone tried to take the free kick wherever he wanted. Will slow things down, but of course it just adds to the tension. Ibragimov has been told to come across to take it. It's a similar angle to the cross he just delivered that went past the post, so Leeds had to have their wits about them. Good ball in again, Bailey. It'll fall to Baumann. He goes for it, headed away. Shot's going to come in, it's over and wide from the sub Ngwashi. And that was it, I think, for Manchester United. They had their chances. Leeds were just sitting, waiting for the net to bulge, you feel there. It's set up nicely. On that occasion, though, poor finish.
Yeah, full time can't come quick enough, Tom, because not for the players, I think just for myself and you. This game is aging me. This second half in particular, we've just played into Manchester United hands, but game of two halves, ends in a draw.
Yeah, we said it at half-time, just how much the wind can affect things at Thorp Arch. It's very open. We've had games like this before, and the experience will only help them later down the line. But 2 goals in the first half from Cresswell and Grainger, cancelled out by Kone and Mother. And both of those for each team coming inside 3 minutes chaotic spells. But the points are shared. Leeds United prepare for their National League Cup tie on Tuesday with a 2-2 draw at Thorp. That's all from us here. Have a cracking weekend.